Hello there, my name is Kyle, and if you're watching this video, then chances are that you are experiencing health anxiety and you are wanting to find out exactly what is causing that. And that is exactly what I'm going to share with you in this video. And I'm going to share with you some truths that are absolutely revolutionary in changing your relationship with health anxiety and any anxiety in general. So first off, let me ask you this. So if you knew for a fact that when you experience the symptoms of health anxiety, whatever that trigger is for you, it could be watching a program, it could be experiencing a bodily sensation, whatever that is, if you knew for a fact that when you experience these things, that you had absolutely no anxiety, there was no panic, no worry, just felt neutral. Do you think you'd be okay with it then? Do you think you'd be okay with seeing that or feeling that experience? Now, I'm going to go ahead and assume that you thought about it and said, yeah, that is okay actually, Kyle. Now, the reason why that is so crucial in understanding health anxiety is because from here, would you agree that we can conclude that it's not the symptoms, or it's not seeing or reading the article or seeing the video that's the problem. It has to be this feeling. Now, for everyone, this feeling is different and it comes from different places. But what happens is that when someone experiences a symptom or they see something that triggers off this health anxiety, this anxiety within them, it is triggering off something that is deeper than that. So a lot of the time it is because of, and especially when it comes to health anxiety, people will experience something in their lives. They'll experience some kind of traumatic event, or they'll have some kind of deeply rooted fear, something that they're trying to prevent from happening, and it may be losing control. That is very common for people with health anxiety. And what happens is, and the reason why this health anxiety and this anxiety in general perpetuates and it loops and sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't, is because of this very thing that I'm about to share with you. So let's take, for example, that someone experiences a bodily sensation. Let's say they experience chest pain, and then they conclude that they are that something's seriously wrong. What this does is this then glues these two things together, so that any time that somebody experiences chest pain, or that person experiences chest pain, they then believe that something seriously bad is going to happen. We call these beliefs. And what a belief is that when someone anchors a thought to a feeling, and these two things then become real, they become anchored together. So, for example, when I experience chest pains, something bad is going to happen, I feel anxiety. It links all of these things together. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because the good news is that these things are exactly what I've just said. They are beliefs. They are no more true than the power that you give to them. Now, here's something to consider. Something important to consider. Sometimes, what would you say if I said sometimes it is our thoughts, our own thoughts and our own beliefs that continue anxiety, that create anxiety? What if it's our own thoughts and our own beliefs that create and continue that cycle of feeling anxious? Now, let me tell you why that is a good thing. Because if that is something that you are actively or unknowingly creating, that is something that you can knowingly stop creating. Now, it's not a case of people knowingly creating anxiety for themselves, but what happens is that usually there'll be some kind of life experience, some kind of traumatic event that will create this feeling that people just do not know how to deal with. They don't know what to do with it. And a lot of the time they don't allow themselves to feel it, and they don't allow themselves to just have that experience of anxiety. A lot of the time they shut it down. They're like, I can't feel like this right now. Maybe you're with the kids, or you're out with family or friends, or maybe you just don't want to feel that feeling. And what that does is that creates another belief that this feeling is dangerous. I don't want to feel like this. I can't feel like this. Don't want to feel out of control. Creates that belief and it pushes the anxiety down. And this is why anxiety repeats itself. It's because You can't just push down an emotion and expect it to go. Like, emotions don't just disappear. They have to be felt to be resolved. And what happens with people with health anxiety is years after years after years of trying to bury down this anxiety is that eventually one day it has to come out, and it usually comes out in some kind of panic attack or some kind of experience that you can't quite figure out why it happens. But really it's just a backlog and a consequence of all of the previous experiences that have happened. And the reason why this is all relevant, the reason why this is sharing, and the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because in client sessions, when I help people overcome their health anxiety, this is exactly what we explore, and this is exactly what we do. We find these beliefs that are completely covering up this anxiety. This anxiety is, sometimes it's there, it's behind in the background, or sometimes it's quite actively there, but it's a case of taking away these beliefs, dismantling them. Remember when I said earlier, they're only beliefs. That doesn't mean they're true. That just means that it's a belief. Someone can believe that the sky is purple. That doesn't mean the sky is purple. So what we do is we dismantle and we dissolve these beliefs, one belief at a time, and until there are none of these beliefs left. And then what that does is that creates the opportunity, and it creates the space for this anxiety to just be there. And it's my responsibility as the practitioner to help guide somebody to release that anxiety. Now that may sound scary to some people, but the truth is that it's just anxiety. We've felt anxiety since humans have begun. We know how to deal with anxiety. It's not going to hurt us. It's just a feeling, an anxious feeling. And the thing is that we have two options. We either continue to not feel the anxiety and to continue for it to kind of be like at a base level, to always be in the background, like an app that's playing on the background of your phone. It's going to slow your phone down because there's bandwidth being taken up. So it's either have it in the background or open up the app, see what's within the app, feel it, experience it, and then close it. And I can guarantee you that every single time that we get to this place with a client, which is almost all of the time, by the way, is that people will experience a huge sense of relief. They'll feel it from head to toe. Relief that they haven't felt for years because they haven't allowed themselves to. But that's exactly what the sessions are for. We dismantle everything that's creating the anxiety. We sit with the anxiety. We let it release itself. It goes into the ether, completely out of the body. And then what comes over people is a huge sense of relief, peace of mind, and clarity, and feeling like themselves again.